Uh-oh. This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
This is the bathroom.
Elio?
Elio?
Elio.
Elio is about a young boy trying to find a place where he feels that he belongs.
You okay?
I'm trying to get abducted by aliens.
Elio!
Skipping school?
Which one of these is you?
I don't know, but I think that one is you.
Your life isn't up there, Elio. You need to make friends.
I just want to belong somewhere. So if any aliens are listening, please come and get me. Okay, bye, I love you. It's really happening.
We search the universe
For the dreamers and stargazers like you.
This is awesome!
Are you gonna eat me?
What? Ew. Oh, no. My name's Elio. What's your name? I'm Glordon. I never had a friend before.
Me neither.
Up top.
Elio is a great feel-good movie that inspires you. Pixar movies are something that you just have to experience in theaters.
Yes!
Elio!
Elio?
Bum, 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 bum.
Hello?
It's a lot of pressure, but pressure makes diamonds.
Action!
Bro, like that. Is that a bad word?
Skipping school.
Which one of these is you?
That one is you.
Someone in interstellar space found our message.
Let's hear it.
I don't know what that is, but I hate it.
Obviously don't use that.
Oh, that's a little harsh.
Just get in my mouth.
Caramba! Everyone needs to chill out!
Oh, actually, I had more to say.
This has been the most fun I have ever had.
You continue. It's a surprise.
You sound like Siri.
I would love to be Siri.
Okay, bye. I love you.
The way it starts is we, for our films, they're all ideas from directors. So we say to the director, why don't you pitch some ideas? The original director is Adrian Molina, who I'm lucky enough to have worked with on Coco. He's amazing. And so he pitched, like, what if the world's weirdest 11-year-old was accidentally abducted and mistaken as the leader of Earth? And everyone loved that and started drawing ideas about how funny that would be. And then when Maddie and Domee came on, they were like, what if he's always been obsessed with space? What if that's the best thing that ever happened? He wants to be abducted. And everyone's like, whoa. And so we pitched these ideas, and then we ask why, right? Why? Because it's all about character. And for both Adrian and for Maddie and Domee, they were artists, and growing up, they kind of felt out of place. Adrian was born on a military base. His dad was a military dentist, and he would talk about going to animation camp, or Domee and Maddie would talk about going to college, or even a lot of us coming to Pixar. You meet your fellow nerds, right? You suddenly feel like you're talking the same language. And so that was a great touchstone. And we started this movie over the pandemic, and a lot of us started to feel really disconnected and lonely. And one day Pete was like, really the core of this film is loneliness. And the more we talked about that, everyone on the crew could see it and everyone felt that. And those were kind of the pieces that came together for the movie.
I can explain. Is that right? Is it? And is it just sort of like really feeling something? And just quietly like that? A bit louder? And then it'll... Brilliant, thank you. Good day.
Actually, I keep a sketchbook and I doodle a lot, and just that's how I have fun in my day-to-day life. And I remember one drawing I had done that was like in the middle of the process that was like, directing feels like you're channeling electricity into one beam because you have all these departments and everyone has different priorities, but your job is to keep everyone on the same path with the same inspiration leading towards the same goal. And sometimes it can feel like, is this physically possible to channel this many different components of a film? But I think what makes Pixar so wonderful is that every individual, every department is full of such kind, thoughtful people, which makes the whole thing a lot easier. So it's a lot of what we call context switching. Every, as far as you know, every 15 minutes you could be looking at a different aspect. It could be an explosion from Lord Grigon's laser gun, or it could be a tear rolling out of Olga's eye, or it could be, you're going to a story review of a sequence you've never seen before, and all of a sudden you have to, what if it doesn't work and you have to rebuild it? So it's probably one of the most physically taxing things I've ever done.
Action.
My private chambers and the chambers in the Hegelian embassy. Chambers in the Hylergian?
I mean, I think we're very fortunate. We had the amazing production designer, Harley Jessup, who had production designed some of my favorite movies that Pixar's ever made, like Coco, Ratatouille. Monsters, Inc. is one of my personal absolute favorites. So the goal that we set ourselves was, how do we make a sci-fi movie that feels totally different than anything we've ever made, and hopefully different than anything anyone's ever seen before. And a lot of our choices stemmed from character and the narrative and what that character needs to grow and change. So for us, we knew that Elio, for him, space and aliens is the ultimate dream. It's wish fulfillment. It should feel like his personal heaven. So the Communiverse needs to feel, we talked about it like a glittering jewel in the sky, and the aliens need to be colorful, charismatic, interesting, and also take full advantage of the skill sets of our animators, who are extremely advanced at this point. They've been doing this for a long time, so they're able to pull out amazing performances with characters with no limbs, no eyes. I mean, anything. They can do it all. So we definitely set a high bar for ourselves.
I need my space inhaler.
I think Elio in particular, we felt very lucky that the majority of the people who worked on the film are together. We're still all under one roof. We all are still up in the Bay Area of California. And there were many moments where us being near each other physically ended up saving the movie in many ways. Like our DP of layout, our DP of lighting, and our sets supervisor all sat next to each other because they're friends and they like each other, which meant that there were so many moments where one of them could be working on a scene, the lighting soup, Jordan can lean over and say like, oh, actually, if you shoot it this other way, I can shoot the light like this and we can get something really cool. And our sets supervisor is right there, David, and he can adjust the set to make everything work, and truly being in proximity and being close to each other ended up saving us a lot of time and a lot of heartache, I think.
We found this rather primitive... Oh. What? Oh. Well, should we take 5?
What I love so much about Elio is that it is this epic space adventure, but at its core, it's this very, very deep and emotional and intimate kind of story about this lonely boy looking for connection in the universe, and his relationship with his aunt Olga, his relationship with Glordon. These are animated characters, but they feel very real. These relationships are very, very real. When he fights with his aunt, we drew a lot from, our own fights with our own parental figures, our own kids, and just like how there's miscommunication when, one side is not understanding the other. But at the same time, Elio is transported to this magical place called the Communiverse, kind of like our space UN, where creatures from all over the galaxies and come and live and work together, and he has to do incredible things like negotiate with a warlord. He has to fly a spaceship, and the scope and scale of this movie is huge and amazing, and it looks so good on the big screen. But at the same time, the like emotional through line is something that we can all relate to, about this boy looking for connection, finding it in his first friend, coming to kind of understand the planet where he's from a little bit more. We're kind of able to do all those things because we work at Pixar, and that's, you know, like everybody who works on these movies are so passionate about the movies that they work on. They want our movies to, like, we all want our movies to resonate with audiences of all ages. We want audiences to have like a takeaway from our movies, to feel a catharsis at the end, to laugh and to cry. So we, you know, feel very proud that Elio lives up to our studio's high expectations.
Is it possible for me to hear? Or am I doing it right? Am I getting the right voice?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just checking.
You sound like Siri.
I would love to be Siri. Hello and welcome.
I would say the biggest technical challenge is just like creating this giant communiverse with all these different aliens. You want the world to be rich, but it is hard to, like, the more you're making, the harder it is. So trying to find that balance. And I think an early challenge that Adrian gave us and Harley Jessup was like, maybe they're not all, you know, we've seen so many alien movies where it's almost a guy in a suit, especially older ones, because they didn't have the opportunity, you know, to use technical tools we have. So could they walk differently? Could they move differently? Could they have no faces? So, and then the communiverse itself, could we show all these environments where all these different aliens live? So that was the biggest technical challenge. And then I think the biggest challenge in any Pixar movie is just letting the story have as much time as that you can. And so just saying, it's okay, you can try it one more time. And I think we went right to the end, and we're just so grateful to everyone for all their amazing work to get the movie as good as it can be. We're always want it to be the best it can be.
The hardest scene, and the scene that came in the latest, is the very first scene in the film, the prologue with Elio, where you witness him discover his love for space in the first place. That was a really difficult scene to crack because we knew Elio's backstory, and we told the audience via dialogue, his parents are dead and he's lonely and it's been this many years, blah, blah, blah. But just telling them via dialogue was not doing it. They did not understand it, and they were confused, like, why space, why aliens? And so at the very last minute, it was almost like a Hail Mary pitch. We found a exploration sequence that one of our story artists had done a long time ago, featuring Elio in a planetarium, and we put it in front of the everything, and just stuck it at the beginning and let it be about the music and the mood, and it just worked. You just felt it rather than, you know, hearing it with your logic brain. So thank goodness that worked, because that was really close to not working.
On behalf of the Air Force and Space Force, we'd like to welcome you and your families to the Disney Pixar DoD screening of Elio.
It's happening! It's really happening!
I'm with the Air Force.
I work in Vandenberg Space Force Base.
I'm a public affairs officer and an orbital analyst with the U.S. Air Force and the U.S. Space Force.
Thank you for your service.
It's just wonderful that Disney was showing the appreciation to the military by inviting so many of the people from the base.
It's really about giving back.
It's pretty special getting to take both the kids out for something exclusive like this.
We're family.
Dedicating the one day to invite everybody, it really made today special.
That's amazing.
During pre-production, Vandenberg Space Force Base invited Pixar to do some research and development as far as space tracking. Military families want to connect with a genuine, heartwarming story. Yes! And I think that was the central connection for Elio.
This is awesome! It made my heart feel great.
Got me emotional.
Yeah, it was a really fun movie.
Thank you!
Such an endearing story and that military families can really relate to.
This movie is a great opportunity for people to learn more about what we do as a Space Force.
We love Elio!